Alright, it's recording. Awesome. Welcome to another 3D chat. We love doing this impromptu where we're actually going to be having a Zoom session with some of our other mates, our accountability mates, but we thought why not just do it with us today? And like Gary Vee says, use everything as content and make sure that you're, making the most of your time. And I guess that leads us to what formed our topic for this of... do you want to bring that up, G? Do you want to read it in? Yep.
2 week smash sesh.
Smash sesh. That's it, guys. See you later.
Yeah.
Signing out. Got to smash. Bye. I'll teach you how to smash. This very quickly in 5 seconds.
So what we're doing is we're smashing for 2 weeks. Work.
I'm glad you clarified that. Do you want to lead with work and then end with smash?
Work.
Start with smash.
For all of our personal work things at the moment, we're committing and holding each other accountable to that commitment together of just spending this next 2 weeks starting today of just like 100% focus on what we're creating. And what you can achieve in 2 weeks is massive if you put 100% into it. So, we're going to do our next 6 months in the next 2 weeks.
100%. I actually love what you just said. We're going to start today. And we've been doing our stuff every day, but it wasn't like, we'll start after our camping trip.
No.
Or we'll start tomorrow. Yeah, we're going camping tomorrow, but it's like we start today and you don't delay your time for getting started, because I think... Again, even watching that Russell Branson thing, he said, Brunson, that Richard Brunson, that Munted Vincent, Ella. Shit. Yeah, where he goes, and I've done this before in things of, you kind of watch through the whole course and it's like, and then I'll get started, but something else comes in and you don't, and you just keep moving through life going, I could have done that, I should have done that. It's like, do it now.
You must take action right away. And like I said, if you've got a 5-day thing to do and there's an action item at the end of each day and you go, I'll just get to the end and do, you're going to overwhelm yourself with work.
Correct.
And then if you feel like that, then you're literally just going to not do it.
And I think I was going to say, and I think following on from that, I think it is when you say, look, I'm going to start this, it's important to actually follow through and do it too. It's not just the showing up.
It's the discipline.
It's the discipline to follow through, because I know it can be so easy to start and be like, I know for me personally, I listen to something and I get super motivated in the moment, but it's the follow through of all right, I'm going to hold myself accountable, whether that be with accountability partners like we all do, or friendship groups, or a reminder on your phone if you live by yourself, or, whatever it is, it's it's that follow through too of sticking with it.
Yeah, it's like if you feel motivated, you have to start there and then, because it never goes higher, it goes lower.
Yeah.
And then from that point, motivation is created by momentum. So by starting and doing something, you'll see the progress. Progress is momentum, and momentum that's where you start getting the ramp up. Makes you more and more keen to do it. Whereas as soon as you stop, even for a day, and I know that going back to work this week, as soon as I was at work and I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do, I get home, it's like, But when you're doing it, you do 1 day of it and it's like, yes.
And how good do you feel it's that decision of, I'm going to do it, and as soon as you do it, I can guarantee all of our moodometers would have been lifted. But when you don't do it, the day just goes on, then all of a sudden it's moved into dinner and everything else is delayed, and it's like this bank up of things of, I'll just do that tomorrow. And so your tomorrow's schedule has everything scheduled in for what you should have been doing the last 3 weeks, and you can see how that would snowball, and it'd just be like, oh fuck it, it's easier to just not do it. But I think at the same time, it's on the other end of that, like you were saying, starting the momentum or holding yourself accountable, you start getting traction not only in the area of what you're working to achieve, but other things start to gain momentum too. So you were saying, whether that's other people around you get inspired, or maybe it inspires someone else to reach out or get motivated in their day. It's not always going to be the momentum within, say, that course you're building or that business that you're running. You're going to get it in other aspects of your life. And I think that's the really fascinating bit about it. It's sort of like that short-term gratification, moving away from that and going, what do I want to achieve? It doesn't need to be tomorrow, but let's have a plan and
work at that every day for this set outcome and being clear on that as well.
It kind of makes me think of that when we had our chat as well on like spheres of influence and stuff. When you're really working on one area that you haven't put a lot of attention in, like just for example myself, work. So for me, work has been something I've been like smash Sunday, and like really, really dedicating myself to that. But high up on the list as well was like relationships, and that is starting to like come to the same size. And then self, it's like they're all just kind of coming to the same size of a sphere. So it's instead of trying to like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I can see it in my head.
In one area.
It's like you put it in that one area, but it kind of levels out all of the other areas in your life. So it's like about realizing what you're focusing on at a different stage of life. Of like, I need to focus more on self, more on relationships, more on work, whatever. But
yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I think it's easy to explain on the lack of side. Like someone that doesn't have a lot of money, typically that's where it's not just in money, it's in
it's lack of abundance and,
shows up in other areas. Just like when we've all been studying and looking at role models that are successful, it's like it's not just in work, it's in their personal lives, it's in their relationships, it's in all these other areas. And I think that's where sometimes you do have to pick that one thing, like you were saying, you got to pick that one thing, focus on that, and you'll start seeing changes in all the other areas of life too.
Totally. So that's basically what our next 2 weeks are going to be. It's really, really grateful to be around these two legends, and it's awesome that you've really taken the opportunity to take 2 weeks off work. And I love it because like Josh will just come home and he'll be like, righto, this is what we're doing for the next 2 weeks, and we're just like, fuck yes, like we're so in on it. And
it's great having the accountability of all of us doing it. Like I could very easily see because you go through, it's not all up, like you were saying, like you go through those things where it's like, if you're feeling flat after your normal job.
That's where the discipline is. You got to pull yourself out of that.
The discipline, but also having the group or putting yourself, having different people around you. Tools. And you don't need to live with them. It could be a podcast, or it could be that you're choosing to listen to podcasts on the way, and you're choosing to do all these other things that help make you go, what am I on about? Like, I've got this, I can do this. Whereas if you're not, if you're just focusing on this is crap, then it's so easy to stay in that.
And we all had big energetic dips this week. I just want to add, we all kind of went through a little bit of a like this isn't what I want to focus on. It's like you with work, mine with work too, and it's like all in our own individual ways, but it kind of hits you at different times. But we all had that in the moment thing, either being around each other, or it was like the decision in the moment, I'm not going to stay in this state. Like, what can I do to shift my mood? And and for me, it was like really short lasting. It was amazing. I just like did a practice, and then I was talking to Sarah, and next thing it was just like, I was happier than I was before. And you're just like, wow, it's so in the mind, isn't it?
It's taking action, isn't it? Like when you feel like that's not always, I think what I learnt through mine was, it's not always just like, okay, got to quickly move through it. Like, because then it shows up in different things too. It's not about staying in it unhealthily, but process it in whatever way you do. If it's like you journal, or you chat to someone, or whatever it is, or you actually deal with it with the person, if it involves someone else, then it's like, that is a form of action that allows you to process it in your own time. And then you can come out and be like, cool, done that now it's time like to move forward. Don't keep dwelling on.
I've personally found with me, because like I tend to let negative thinking happen in my head, but it happens unconsciously, and then I pick up on that, and like seriously, I sometimes have many like arguments, fake arguments in my head with somebody else, right?
It's Clarence in there.
So I let like, and in the past I would always let it play out, and I would go, I would have said this in that situation. It's actually quite silly, but I guarantee it happens to more people than me, but it's in those moments. And a little win for me, a personal win, is like I'll be aware that it's happening, and then I'll want to finish it, and I go, no. I just stop and go, no, that's not serving me. So what can I think of that's focusing on what I want to focus on, and you straight out of that mindset from there on forward.
You could literally just shift from there to visualizing your goals, and it's like,
it's sort of like, it comes back to that line, what is it, do I want to be right, or do I want to, you know, you could relate it to anything. Do I want that success, or do I want to move through this, or do I simply want to be right? And sometimes the human logical thing is like, yeah, you want to make sense of every single thing, and in whatever way it is, it's like you want to process it and then be like, no, like, I'm justifying why I've done this or why I've said this or whatever it is, when in reality, like you're saying, you look at it and you're like, this is silly, like there's actually no this isn't going to serve me in 5 years. And I was having a chat to one of my friends the other morning. I'd misplaced the time or whatever, and anyway, I committed to that. I showed up to it, even though I was running late. I didn't bail. I got up and I had it in my pajamas. Like, I had the chat in my pajamas, and we were chatting through things. And she was like coming from a really beautiful place too, but then she had her own stuff going on, and she ended up chatting about stuff. I said, the powerful question I've been asking, I have for ages, like it's something that I kind of come back to, and that I reminded myself of through the coaching, the business coaching I was doing, because we had to come up with different powerful questions that we would ask ourselves. And the one that came to mind was, am I going to worry about this in 5 years' time? Like, is this going to be relevant to me in 5 years' time? And more often than not, it was something that's like, nah, like it really doesn't. Not saying that you need to just be like, who cares, move through it.
Yeah.
But like in the scheme of things, is this like a life-changing moment right now, or is it just
or is
something
it this big that you can just...
It feels this big, but because I've made it this big, it's not...
Right.
It's not something that needs to consume all of my time. Like there's certain things, like certain business decisions or life decisions or whatever, that you're like, okay, this actually could impact me in 5 years. But if it's like something you've said to someone, or, you know, something that, you're going through yourself or whatever, it's like, why am I thinking of a conversation that's happened 10 years ago or 2 days ago? Like, is this actually going to have any impact on my life in 5 years' time? And if it's a no, it's like, all right, cool. Process it, move on now, and like actually show up in other areas. Because I think that's the thing that we're all learning, is like when our mind is focused on stuff that we don't want it to be focused on, or that feels draining or whatever, that actually takes space away from the other areas in our life that needs that, or that could be having it. Like if you're overwhelmed, say in relationships, and it's like you're not putting time into work then, or you're not putting time into life or self or anything else, and vice versa with all the other areas. And I think that's where we've got each other to just be like, hey, this is how we can move through it now. Cool, let's chat about it. And I think this has been the cool thing that we all do, is like actually sit and chat about different topics, because then you can air it out and it gives it a voice, it gives it a space to be like, done, all done now.
And I think that's a nice way to kind of conclude it as to where we are, of like, you know, we're all going places and we're all in all like amazing, successful places, but at the same time, it's like to remember that even when you're smashing and you're owning it life, it's like you still do get confronted with triggers. And I see it as like a little test from the universe of like, how much do you really want this? It's like,
worthy opponent.
Worthy opponent. So bring it on, moles. And
it was like Joe Gatto said as well, is just like we're all at different stages of our journey. So it's like not comparing, like I'm going in more lows at the moment. It's like, that's just part of your journey at the moment.
Sunday smash test, let's go.
Let's go, let's do it.
Yeah, buddy.
Smash your Sunday too.